Hey guys, today we're talking about MRP and Lean. Lots of people would say MRP versus Lean or Lean versus MRP. Look, my history in UK manufacturing goes back over the last kind of 20 years or so. In the late 1990s, early 2000s, goodness me, that's a long time back. But then people were kind of ripping out their MRP systems as they embraced Lean and seeing them as the kind of antithesis of each other. It doesn't have to be that way. It really honestly doesn't have to be that way. And to kind of show you that, I want to take you back to the beginnings of MRP. We're going to go back to 1964 here. Look, in 1964, a chap working at IBM called Joseph Orlicki, he was kind of the modern father of MRP, at least MRP1, Material Requirements Planning. How he did that, guess where he looked? He was looking at a company in Japan called Toyota, who were really revolutionising at that point the way manufacturing was done, particularly in the automotive industry, obviously. And they had the Toyota production system, or the early versions of that, the Toyota manufacturing system. And what Orlicki did was he was to try and take that and put it into an electronic format using computers. And that was what he was doing at IBM. So MRP itself has kind of three main objectives. Those main objectives are: what do we need? How much do we need? When do we need it? And just think about that for a second, and if we overlay that with the kind of goals of lean manufacturing, particularly just-in-time manufacturing, or to only have what you need exactly when you need it, is kind of just-in-time manufacturing, the heart of that. You see, philosophically, those two things aren't as far apart as people sometimes think. So MRP is actually a pretty good foundation, if it's implemented well, for lean manufacturing. And look, in an MRP system, you can increase efficiency. An MRP system will tackle the 7 wastes if it's implemented well. Of course, if you write your rules wrong around your parts and say you want to hold lots of stock, an MRP system will facilitate you inflating your inventory. It will do that if that's the rules you feed it. But if you want to, you can keep MRP systems very, very lean. The fundamental difference then between MRP and ERP is basically push manufacturing versus pull manufacturing. And the Toyota production system, or kind of lean ways of manufacturing, tend these days to be based around pull rather than push. What do I mean by that? Well, look, pull can be any kind of thing. So it could be that you have a line drawn across the wall, and if your stock draw falls below that line, someone needs to then replenish that stock. So that tells the guy who's operating the machine to make another box and put it there so it goes above that line again. It could be Kanban cards that people pass around. So the kind of inspector has inspected his part, so he passes a card back to production and says, I need another part to inspect. It's pulling it through from the back end of the process. Push is where ERP tends to be traditionally, and so you put a sales order on, and responding to that sales order, the MRP system pushes the order through. But look, it doesn't have to be that way. In a modern system such as 1, 2, 3 Insight, you can set that system up with reorder levels, you can set it up with Kanban controls, you can pull the stock through as well as pushing it if you want to, or you can mix and match and have components that you hold stock of always and deliberately, and other things that you pull through only as you need them. Fundamentally then, there isn't a disagreement between lean manufacturing and MRP. You don't have to throw one out to embrace the other. If you implement well, and you implement with a company who know what they're doing and can guide you through the process, you're going to have a good combination. That's it for today, guys.
To learn more, visit our website or book to attend one of our free educational events. You'll even receive a free paperback copy of our book, How to Implement a Manufacturing System, just for attending.